You have asked me some very pertinent questions about old age and caring for the elderly, the old age. I would like to start by, a little a quote of Thomas Albright: "To keep the heart unwrinkled, to be hopeful, kindly, cheerful, and reverent. That is, in fact, to triumph over old age." So, as we grow old, we become different entities. We become more reliant on external forces to keep us going, and there is a certain physical deterioration that sets in. So, obviously, a lot of caring is required. Uh, the life of a man, actually, when one is a child, it's almost the same as when one is very old. So at both the stages in life, a, a person needs to be cared for very, very differently than the rest of his or her life. It is very, there is a caring for the elderly is a subject which really needs a lot of attention, because as we are westernizing, I'm talking about India, am I right? India is the subject. So earlier on in the joint family structure, caring for the elderly really was not an issue. There were plenty of people to care for the elderly, look after the elderly, and respect the elderly and make them feel wanted and respected and all that. Now the Indian economy is fashioning itself after the Western model, which is inescapable. It is the global model. In fact, I would not call it Western anymore. So there are, families are getting nuclear. Families are there are no joint families. I mean, the structure of joint families is getting dismantled slowly and steadily, especially in the metropolitan centers. The elderly are getting left alone. So four things essentially happen to the elderly. Either the elderly are with a great family to care for them and see them off from their exit lounge. Second, the elderly are not with their family. The children have most probably gone and migrated to America or some other foreign country and left, and they are left alone. So they are all right economically and financially, but that's not enough when it comes down to the elderly. The third situation is when the elderly are living with their family and they have a very, very uncaring and insensitive family who would just simply, in spite of being there, not look after them. And of course, the fourth model is that very unfortunate when people don't have children and don't have families. They're not even married. Perhaps they're single. So that is the fourth model. Now, in all four models, there's only one model in which you escape from the provision of external care for the elderly, and that is the first model, where there is a joint family looking after the elderly very well. So we are definitely following now the Western. We are evolving the way the West has. The elderly get left alone. Therefore, the question of whether there should be elderly homes and centers and communes where the elderly are cared for is a very pertinent question, and it is a very, very important requirement of the day, particularly in India. I think there is a great need for for homes and care centers and communes for the elderly. So it's very important, and the number of elderly is definitely going to grow. Uh, because of breakthroughs in medicine, because of breakthroughs in caring for the elderly, longevity of people, the average age going up, etc. So the number of elderly is obviously going to grow. Like in the West, there are plenty of elderly people. In fact, the demographic dividend is not there. There aren't enough young people in the West, but there are plenty of the elderly. In India right now, the demographic dividend is huge because we have very large number of young people. But see the future, all these people are going to get old, and they're not going to die fast. I mean, sorry to use this term, because of the healthcare system, the way it has evolved. So they're going to live very long. There's going to be the ranks of the elderly are really going to swell up. There are going to be plenty of people getting old and staying and living. Yes, definitely. It is a stigma. In fact, you know, the Indian system, the way it works, the values, the way they work, there's a lot of emoting, there's a lot of emotion. So sometimes you may have seen it in some, some Hindi film I remember. आपको हम तो ओल्ड एज होम में जाके रहेंगे एंड पीपल गेट वेरी अपसेट अरे आप ओल्ड एज होम में जाके रहेंगे ओ माय डेड बॉडी so it's an emotion, you know, it's a very powered emotion. How can my parents live in an old age home when I am there to look after them, to love them and to care for them? So it's certainly because of this emotional huge emotional factor. Yes, it is a stigma, but slowly the stigma is going to go because of the utility aspect and because of the practical solution that the old age homes, the word homes gets a bit tacky. The old age care centers or old age facilities, they would definitely come and be accepted. So very well, thank you very much, and God bless the elderly, really. And I'm one person given into caring for the elderly, whether they be my own elderly or others, or just any elderly person. I was blessed to take care of my parents, my aging parents, and my mother, in fact, for a large part of her old age, she lived with me and gave me the opportunity, the privilege, and the pride to look after her. And I feel blessed that I had that opportunity. Of course, she left way back in 2010, but my memories of her last few years are very vivid, and wherever she is, may she be in peace.